فأولئك مع الذين أنعم الله عليهم. That once they have this belief in their heart, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala groups them in a grouping which is most blessed with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have the in'am, they have the highest degree, the highest reward in their. They have the highest certificates that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised. We also reiterate in the same chapter, same verse, وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. So see the blessing of such a belief that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that once you have that belief in the heart, in the deep recesses of the heart, then you are going to be in the company of the Prophet. So imagine saying La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, then you have already been cleansed of all the previous sins. And not only that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevates you and puts you in alignment with the Prophet. And with the Siddiqeen, those who were next in category to the prophets, those who are the truthful, Shuhada, and also the martyrs who gave their life, their belongings in the service of the Salihin, and they are in the most righteous group that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selects. وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. And what a honorable company that is. ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ مِنَ اللَّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ عَلِيمًا. And this is a fadl from Allah subhanahu. And indeed, Allah is sufficient about all-knowing about anything that exists. Yesterday, a lady called me and asked me, what is the difference between fadl and rahmah? Fadl and rahmah. Fadl is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that comes in, for example, when Sulaiman alayhi salam wanted the Bilqis, the throne, to be brought to his presence. A jinni said, I can bring it before this meeting finishes. But the person, human being, who has the know-how and iman on Allah, he says, I can bring that throne from Yemen here in Middle East with the blink of an eye. And then he says, Zalika Fadlullah min Allah. That is the fadl. That is the fadl. That's the blessing. Rahmah is when you see somebody sick, you go and you visit and shake hands. And that is a reflection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy being delivered. So it's very distinct from the fadl. Fadl is much superior compared to mercy. So we are here. That is why in every Jummah we ask for his fadl. We ask for his fadl. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us deserve that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in Surah Al-Ahzab, وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ فَازَ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا. That indeed whosoever then after the belief follows the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the messenger's way of his sunnah, then indeed this person has the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the highest degree of reward. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the Prophet in the Holy Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا لِيُطَاعَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. That all the prophets that have been sent individually to a locality, or as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent to all mankind, whosoever obeys them, indeed that is following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command. There are three words that are used in this in the Holy Quran. One is called the ittiba, the other one is ta'a, and the last one is nasr. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants that the Muslims, those who have believed in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they should have all the three categories that I mentioned. Ittiba is to learn about the commandments and then give it a physical shape. Show that you have believed and now you have expressed them. So this comes from the recesses of the heart, whereas ittiba is learning it in the heart and yet not put in the practice. So we have to advance from one aspect into the other, so that we reflect the commandments in our action. And the last category that is demanded of us is Nasrullah wa Nasru Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that is to come forward and actually help the messenger in the protection of this deen, which may require giving up your belongings and giving up your life and all that you have to achieve the heights. So this is Nasr. And that is why Isa alayhi salam, before he was lifted to the heavens, he asked his companions, who would come for my Nasr? And only few came forward. So it is an action, a sacrifice, and that is the ultimate sacrifice. And that is what we see in Gaza. The whole world is cold, totally cold. So do they fit in any of the categories that I mentioned? Absolutely not. There is no ittiba for the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no ta'a, and there is no nasr. So we as Muslims are here just by name. So in the categories that I decided where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put us in the categories of Siddiqeen and Shuhada and Rusul and Nabi, would we fit in? Would we be qualified? Or are we just doing a symbolic act of worship without any spirit behind it? And if we look at the congregation here, maybe 1% or 2% of the Muslims have come to display their Iman and Jummah. The rest, even in the Muslim countries, they do not come and attend the weekly prayers that are attended. So that is the degree of ghafla in all of us, that we are Muslims by name, but nothing is reflective of us in the adab and akhlaq. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam received the highest award from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَكَانَ خُلْقُهُ الْقُرْآنِ. That is what his wife Aisha radiallahu anha gives the picture of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That his whole life was a reflection of the adab and akhlaq of the Quran. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for you, the best example is your Prophet in the akhlaqiyat and in the adab. So please, when we come for the prayers, let us depict our best adab. How to enter the masjid, how to sit, and how to be humble, and not to indulge in any worldly thought, not to indulge and not to disturb anything. We have to learn that. Unfortunately, the overall picture is deplorable. The madrasa, the masajid are the learning places where we come in and not only learn the Holy Quran and the religious sciences, but also the adab associated with it. And that part, unfortunately, is neglected. Every Thursday, 7 o'clock at evening, we have Quranic session with our director of this ministry. But how many people show up in this lecture? 1.5.